Good day everyone. Today we're going to discuss the 2020 Supplemental Self-Guided SEES modules or the basic psychosocial skills. Actually, these self-guided SEES modules consist of 4 modules. But today we're just going to discuss about the module 1, which is about validating and normalizing feelings. So in this module, we have these 2 objectives. First is identify feelings or reactions related to the pandemic or any form of disaster. And lastly, accept that all feelings and reactions are normal and valid. But before that, we have here a question. How are you feeling today? Others may answer, I'm okay, I'm stressed, I am depressed, depending on the situation you are having right now. Especially in these trying times when we are experiencing this pandemic or this crisis. Most of us may answer, Ma'am, I'm stressed. Sir, I am depressed because of what is happening in these days. Before that, let's have this preliminary activity which is entitled My Dear Friend. So in this activity, you are going to write to a friend about the following. So we have 2 questions. The first one is, what were the 5 routines or reactions you did at home? Examples that we have here: I slept most of the time, I watched television, I just helped in the household chores. These answers should consist 5 routines or reactions that you did at home. It's up to you on how are you going to answer it. But you have to number your answers from 1 to 5 and write it down on the beginning part of your letter. Sa umpisang part, dun isusulat yung 1 to 5 na routines or reactions that you did at home. Next, what are your feelings towards your reactions or routines? Example, I felt bored, I felt afraid, I experienced anxiety. You may write your answer in the middle and ending part of the letter. Note, you do not need to write a long letter. A short letter may do so. Hindi tayo pahabaan ng sulat, mas kailangan natin yung maigsi, pero nandoon lahat yung hinahanap natin or yung dapat na nilalaman. Hindi essay ang gagawin natin, ha? It's about a letter to your friend. That telling something about you, what you are doing, or what you have done in these days. So you may continue doing this activity later when we are done in discussing this module. Let's move forward. So these are the common reactions of students to stressful events. Ito daw yung mga common na reaction ninyo na mga mag-aaral pag nandun kayo sa sitwasyon na na-stress kayo. Okay, we have here, feel a strong responsibility to the family. Feel anxious brought about by uncertainty of the future. Feel intense or prolonged grief for not being able to wake. May become self-absorbed and feel self-pity. May experience charges in their relationships with other people. May also start taking risk, engage in self-destructive behavior, have avoidant behavior and become aggressive. May experience major shifts in their view of the world accompanied by a sense of hopelessness about the present and the future. May become defiant of authorities and parents while they start relying on peers for socializing through social media, and may feel guilty and anxious having been separated from their loved ones due to lockdown. Okay, so these common reactions of yours, I want you to know that all your feelings, all these negative feelings that you are experiencing or feeling right now are all normal. Normal lang siya. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, kung nararamdaman nyo yung isa o dalawa o higit pa o kahit lahat na meron tayo dyan sa list na yan, it means that you are still normal. Okay? Are you familiar with the Korean drama? Yung It's Okay Not to Be Okay? You can relate in that movie. Okay? Lalong-lalo na kasi shoot yung movie na yon or pinroduce yung movie na yon during this time, yung pandemic na nararanasan natin. Sinight doon sa mga movie na kung paano mo i-handle yung sarili mo, especially when you are experiencing a negative situation or you are in a stressful events. Meron tayong example doon, yung bida na lalaki, I'm not familiar with his name, na bago ka mag-react whenever you are experiencing a stressful event, bumilang ka muna ng 1 hanggang 10 beses bago ka mag-decide or bago ka mag-react para hindi mo pagsisihan yung mga magiging produkto ng pag-react mo or yung magiging mangyayari whenever you react negatively. Okay? So, ibig sabihin nga, kung nararamdaman mo yung mga bagay na to, itong common reactions ng mga students, you are still normal because these things are normal feelings of someone who are experiencing negative things or experiencing stressful events. Okay, so let's move to the Module 1 handout entitled When Terrible Things Happen. We have here a table of immediate reactions. There are a wide variety of positive and negative reactions that students can experience during and immediately after crisis situations. So, as you can see, we have a table here. It has 3 columns. The first column consists domain, which are the cognitive, emotional, social, and physiological. And we have in the second column is the negative responses, and in the last column we have the positive responses. When we say cognitive, it is about your psychological factor. It is about what you are thinking or your thoughts. Emotional, these are your feelings, and social, it is about how you socialize with others, kung paano ka makisama sa kanila. And physiological, it is about your responses in physical with your mind or your thoughts. Okay, so we have the negative responses for cognitive: confusion, worry, or self-blame. Yes, we tend to blame ourselves, especially if a negative thing happened to a person that we loved or to our family or to our friend. And for positive responses naman, we have determination, courage, optimism, and faith. For emotional, we have shock, sorry, grief, sadness, fear, anger, numb. When we say numb, ito yung manhid, magiging manhid, irritability, guilt, and shame. And for positive responses for emotional, we have your feeling involved, challenged, and mobilized. For social domain, we have the negative responses of fights with others or does not speak with others. And for positive responses, we have seeks out others who can help them or help others in need. So that's vice versa. And for physiological, we have the negative responses: tired, headache, muscle tension, stomach ache, difficulty in sleeping, or fast heartbeat. Ito yung parang ninenervyos ka na. Okay? And for positive responses, we have the alertness, readiness to respond, or increased energy. And we may also connect it with our adrenaline. for the physiological domain. Okay? Next, we have the common negative reactions that may continue. Ito yung kahit na natapos na o na-experience mo na yung negative na bagay, pwede pa rin na maramdaman mo ito. O ito yung tinatawag nating long-term negative reactions. First, we have the intrusive reactions. When we say intrusive, it means inside. Ito yung mga reaction natin na hindi nakikita ng naked eye ng ibang tao. Hindi nila na-observe because these things are just running in our minds. Naiisip lang natin. Okay? First one, distressing thoughts or images of the event while awake or dreaming. Yung parang napapaginipan mo na nga siya pag tulog ka, tapos parang nananaginip ka pa ng gising. Napapaginipan mo yung mga negatibong nangyari. Okay? And upsetting emotional or physical reactions to reminders of the experience. If there are negative things happen to you, maiisip mo siya and ma-upset ka emotionally, or you may have a negative physical reaction. Next, flashback, or feeling like the experience is happening all over again. Or also what we call deja vu, yung parang paulit-ulit na lang. Dahil paulit-ulit mo siyang naiisip, paulit-ulit mong naaalala yung mga nangyari sa yung masama, nagpa-flashback siya sa'yo. So, paulit-ulit mo ring nararamdaman yung sakit na naramdaman mo nung nangyari yung mga bagay na yon. Next, traumatic events. You are avoiding talking, thinking, and having feelings about those traumatic events. Iniiwasan mo na isipin or pag-usapan yung mga bagay na or negative things na nangyari sa'yo. Next is, avoid reminders of the event, places, and people connected to what happened. This is somewhat connected to the first three intrusive reactions. Next, restricted emotions or feeling numb. Ito yung dahil you used to it, paulit-ulit na lang nangyayari, paulit-ulit mo na lang nararamdaman yung sakit, nagiging manhid ka na. So you tend to just feel or don't feel anything at all. And next is feeling of detachment to others or estrangement from others, or yung tinatawag nating social withdrawal. Okay? Ibig sabihin, dahil paulit-ulit na lang yung nangyayari, parang mas pinipili mo na lang na mag-isa ka na lang. Inihihiwalay mo yung sarili mo sa iba. So, you withdraw from others. You tend to don't socialize anymore. And lastly, we have loss of interest in usually pleasurable activities. Iniiwasan mo na lang din yung mga bagay na dati naman ginagawa mo, dati naman sumasaya ka pag ginagawa mo, because you are having loss of interest to those pleasurable activities. Okay, so those are the things or the intrusive reactions that we have. Next is physical arousal reactions. Number 1, we have the on the lookout, or constantly being on the lookout for danger, startling easily, or being jumpy. Ibig sabihin, you tend to be careless of yourself. Hindi mo na iniingatan yung sarili mo. Nagiging jumpy ka na, nagiging careless ka na, nagiging kumbaga parang hindi mo na iniisip yung mga bagay-bagay, kaya parang sige, come what may, gagawin mo yung bagay na to kahit na alam mo na pwede kang mapahamak. Okay? Next, irritability or outburst of anger, feeling on edge. Ito yung mga physical reaction na parang konting kibot lang, galit ka na agad, hindi mo iniisip yung mararamdaman ng tao pagka konting kibot niya lang, magagalit ka na, ganon. So, you tend to be irritable. And lastly, we have sleep difficulty So you tend to have a difficulty of falling or staying asleep, problems concentrating or paying attention, because those negative things are running in your mind. Nahihirapan kang matulog kasi yun at yun na lang yung naiisip mo. Okay? Next. And last, for the common negative reactions, we have the reactions to trauma. Distressing mental images. These are the reactions to places, people, sights, sounds, smells, and feelings that are reminders of the disaster. Reminders can bring on distressing mental images, thoughts, and emotional or physical reactions. Common examples include sudden loud noises, sirens, locations where the disaster occurred, seeing people with disabilities, funerals, anniversaries of the disaster, and television or radio news about the disaster. Common example for this is, are you familiar with 9/11? Yung September 11 Twin Tower bombing sa US? Okay, meron tayong reactions to trauma, especially yung mga taong taga doon, yung mga American. Na pag sumasapit yung September 11, naaalala pa rin nila yung nangyaring pagbobomba doon sa Twin Tower na may ginamit na eroplano, suicide bombing yung nangyari na yon. Tuwing sasapit yung September 11, naaalala nila yon. And the feeling of trauma are still there. Nandun pa rin. Nararamdaman nila, naaalala nila yung mga nangyari. Especially yung family ng mga namatay nung disaster na yon, nung aksidente na yon. Okay? Ano pa yung pwede nating maging example? Halimbawa, namatayan ka, namatay yung parent mo, yung magulang mo. Tuwing may makikita kang patay sa ibang lugar, halimbawa merong lamay, may burol, maaalala mo yung emotion mo during that time na nung ikaw yung namatayan. Okay? And also, ano pa yung pwedeng maging example nito? Halimbawa, nakaranas ka ng aksidente. You are a survivor in an accident. Na-aksidente ka sa motor. So, pag may maririnig ka na parang nabangga, ayun, madidistress ka kasi yung mental images na yon, yung sound nun, nung na-aksidente ka, maaalala mo yung nangyari sa'yo. So, that is our reactions to trauma. So, if we have negative reactions that may continue, we also have the positive changes in priorities, worldview, and expectations. First one, enhance appreciation that family and friends are precious and important. Of course, the first people or the first persons that we have are our family and friends and other persons that you think might help you. Okay? Especially in moving on in your life. Next, meeting the challenge of addressing difficulties or by taking positive action steps, changing the focus of thoughts, using humor or acceptance. Acceptance, which means if you are just going to accept what had happened, you can easily move forward. And shifting expectations about what to expect from a day-to-day and about what is considered a good day. Okay, shifting expectations. Meron tayong tinatawag na pag hindi na-meet yung expectation mo, parang sumasama yung loob mo, di ba? So this time, for positive overview or positive change, dapat ilimit mo yung expectation mo para hindi ka masaktan. Okay? Babaan mo yung expectation mo. Don't expect more. And shifting priorities to focus more on quality time with family or friends. Because you already appreciated your family and friends, it is for you to shift your priorities and to focus more on having quality time with your family and friends, especially in this time that we are experiencing the pandemic, right? Dapat mas tumitibay yung samahan ng family and friends natin. Kasi sila yung merong tayo ngayon, yung pwede nating maging pundasyon. And lastly, increased commitment to self, family, friends, and most of all, to our spiritual faith. That is actually the first thing that we should increase, or we should prioritize. That having spiritual relationship with God. And next, these are some instances when a loved one dies. These are our common reactions. Pag tayo ay namatayan ng family member, ng friends, ng relatives, or ng loved ones natin, these are the common reactions. Again, katulad ng sinabi ko kanina, if you are feeling these common reactions, it means that you are still normal. Normal ka pa rin. Okay? Hindi ka pa nasisiraan ng bait. Okay, number 1, we have confused, numb, disbelief, bewildered, or lost. Next, angry, strong physical reactions. When we say strong physical reactions, these are the nausea, fatigue, shakiness, and muscle weakness. Kaya meron ngang mga makikita tayo, di ba? Yung iba pag namamatayan, bigla na lang hinihimatay. So that is common. Okay? That is what we call the strong physical reaction. Of course, yung feeling of angriness at the person who died, yes po pwede. Halimbawa, yung tao na yon ay namatay dahil gumawa siya ng krimen. Your common reactions may be parang kasi gumagawa siya ng masama kaya namatay siya. So may feeling of anger doon sa atin, yung common reactions. O kaya naman po pwedeng anger doon sa mga tao na feeling mo responsible kung bakit namatay yung mahal mo sa buhay. Halimbawa, meron kang kaibigan, nabalitaan mo yung kaibigan mo na aksidente sa pagmumotor kasi yun pala, nag-break sila ng girlfriend niya. So, you tend to be angry doon sa girlfriend na kung di siya nakipag-break, di sana buhay pa si yung kaibigan ko. Ayun. So, dun na rin pumapasok yung blaming others. And feeling guilty for still being alive. Pwede naman na halimbawa, magkasama kayo nung tao na yon, nung mahal mo na yon, tapos magkasama kayo, namatay siya, ikaw buhay. So parang nagigilt ka na ako buhay pa, dapat patay na rin ako, o dapat ako na lang namatay, hindi siya. Ganon. So that is also normal na maramdaman mo. Next, intense emotions such as extreme sadness, anger, or fear. So, this is somewhat connected with number 2, yung angry. And increased risk for physical illness and injury. Dahil nga namatayan ka, common na iiyak ka, so magkakaroon ka rin ng sakit pag sobra-sobra na yung pag-iyak na ginagawa mo. And next is decreased productivity or difficulties making decisions because your mind is full of thoughts about your loved one who died. Punong-puno lang siya ng pag-iisip tungkol doon. Kaya hindi ka na makakapag-isip ng mabuti, hindi ka na makakapag-decide ng mabuti. Next, having thoughts about the person who died even when you don't want to. So that is also normal. Kahit na parang ayaw mo nang isipin na namatay siya, yung taong mahal mo, yung kaibigan mo, or yung family mo, hindi pa rin maiiwasan na maisip mo siya. Because that is recorded in our mind. Next, longing or feeling of missing and wanting to search for the person who died. Kahit na halimbawa ay taon na yung lumipas nung namatay yung taong mahal mo na yon, pero dahil mahal mo siya, dahil malapit siya sa'yo, dahil family mo siya or matalik mo siyang kaibigan, of course, it is normal, it is common that you will still miss him or her. And next is feeling worry. This is for the children and adolescents that are particularly likely to worry that their parent might die. Parang halimbawa, ikaw, na nag-aaral ka pa lang, parang iniisip mo na paano kaya pag namatay yung magulang ko, makakapag-aral pa ba ako, magagawa ko pa ba yung mga nagagawa ko ngayon, meron pa bang mag-aalaga sa aming magkakapatid. So that is feeling worry, and that is normal also, and it is connected with anxiousness because it is also the feeling of being anxious when separated from caregivers or other loved ones. So these reactions are common. And we have what helps. So ano yung makakatulong doon sa mga tao who are suffering from those negative common reactions? And ano rin yung makakatulong kung ikaw naman yung nakaka-experience noon? Number 1, talking. This is actually the most important. Bakit? For example, let's have a situation. Meron kang kaibigan na depressed and he or she tried to talk to you. Sinabi niya sa'yo na, friend, best, ganito yung nararamdaman ko ngayon. Feeling ko wala na akong ginawang tama. Feeling ko lagi na lang ako yung sinisisi pag may nangyayaring masama dito sa bahay. Ganon. Don't tell him or her that you are also experiencing the same way. Huwag mong sasabihin na, ay nako, relate, parang ganon. Huwag mong sasabihin na, ako nga din si mama nga, ganito pupunta lang ako dito, nagpaalam ako, tas magagalit na agad sa akin, wala daw akong ginagawang tama, ganon. Don't say that. Kasi, yung mga taong nade-depress, hindi nila kailangan ng someone na makaka-relate sa nangyayari sa kanila. Ang kailangan nila ay someone na makikinig sa mga nararamdaman nila. Kasi kung sasabayan mo sila, madadagdagan lang yung burden na nararamdaman nila. Madadagdagan lang yung mga negative thoughts or feelings na meron sila. So, if you are going to talk to someone who are feeling depressed, nade-depress, kailangan, ang sabihin mo sa kanya, okay, hindi ko man siguro na-experience kung ano yung na-experience mo ngayon, hindi ko man siguro nararamdaman kung ano yung nararamdaman mo ngayon, but I am here to listen. I am here if you want someone to talk to. Ganun lang. That is what they need. Okay? So, if you have friends who are suffering from depression, just give your ears to listen to them. Ganun lang. Huwag natin silang sasabayan. Okay? So, next is engaging. Engaging in positive, distracting activities. Or example nun ay sports, hobbies, or reading. Kung ano yung mga tingin mong makakapagpasaya sa'yo, kung ano yung mga hobby mo, just engage yourself to those positive, distracting activities. Next, getting adequate rest and eating healthy meals. Okay, take note, healthy meals. Kumain ng masusustansyang pagkain at hindi basta kain lang ng kahit na ano. Kasi, if you do this, you will lead to stress eating. And pag sinabi nating stress eating, there are no controls. Pag walang control, ano mangyayari? You will be unhealthy. You will be an obese. Okay? Next, trying to maintain a normal schedule. Just like your normal routine, just do that. And that will help. Next, scheduling pleasant activities. Scheduling pleasant activities, pwede natin siyang i-connect doon sa number 2, which is engaging in positive distracting activities. Pleasant activities kasi, when we say pleasant activities, these are the activities that are pleasing to you, yung makakatulong sa'yo. Next, taking breaks. Pagka nagtatrabaho, hindi naman obligado na puro trabaho na lang, magpahinga din. Okay? sa inyo, pagka nag-start na yung formal classes natin, because we have schedule, may schedule doon na meron namang recess, may break time naman, wag gamitin yung recess para tuloy-tuloy pa rin na magsagot ng module kasi there are ample time for you to answer your modules and there are time for you to have your break. Okay? Next, reminiscing about a loved one who has died. Reminiscing them, when we say reminiscing, in a positive way. Kung aalalahanin nyo man yung mga taong namatay na family member mo, na friend mo, or na mahal mo, wag mo naman nang alalahanin yung mga negative things na nangyari sa inyo. Just reminisce the positive and that will help you. Next, focusing on something practical that you can do right now to manage the situation better. Just like what I have mentioned before, just focus on the positive things. Next, using relaxation methods. Relaxation methods include breathing exercises, meditation, calming self-talk, and music. Yung breathing exercises, this is what I have mentioned before, yung example doon sa K-drama na It's Okay Not to Be Okay. Diba, na-mention ko na yung bida doon, ang in-advise niya doon sa kapwa niya bida na babae ay bago ka mag-react, huminga ka ng 1 hanggang 10 beses. Okay? So, that is an example of relaxation method. Kasi, when you tend to breathe slowly, bago ka mag-react, marerelax hindi lang yung katawan mo, yung isip mo, pati yung emotion mo. And, calming self-talk. Etong self-talk na to, ito din yung tinatawag nating private speech. Hindi porke nagsi-self-talk ka, may sira ka na sa ulo. Okay? Kasi yung, di ba, yung mga baliw na alam natin na kinakausap niya yung sarili niya, nasisiraan na siya ng ulo. No, that's not right. Pag sinabi natin calming self-talk, one example of this, halimbawa, napakarami mong trabaho, feeling mo ay masyado ka na, na-stress ka na, tambak ka na ng trabaho, pwede mong i-relax yung sarili mo by just saying positive things to yourself. For example, kaya ko to, kaya pa ng oras ko, magagawa ko to, matatapos ko to. That is an example of self-talk. And other people are also using music as relaxation method. Nare-relax sila pagka nakakarinig sila ng music. Especially if if the genre of the music is their favorite. Mare-relax sila doon. Next, participating in a support group. Of course, when you have a support group na naiintindihan ka, nauunawaan ka, that will help. Next, exercising in moderation. Yung pag-exercise, it is also an example of positive distracting activity. Next, keeping a journal. Keeping a journal, yun yung tinatawag nating diary. Okay? And lastly is seeking counseling. Kung sa tingin mo, hindi mo na kaya yung na ikaw na lang yung nagtataguyod sa sarili mo, na nagsiself-talk ka, ine-engage mo yung sarili mo dun sa mga pleasant activities, ine-engage mo yung sarili mo sa positive distracting activities, you may also seek counseling. And these are the things that will help you or someone who are experiencing negative things. And if there are something that can help, there are also something that cannot help or what doesn't help. Of course, first and foremost, alcohol or drugs can't help you if you are experiencing negative things. Bakit? Kasi if you are to take alcohol or drugs, it will just increase your problem or your negative feelings. Oo, iinom ka, malalasing ka, Makakalimutan mo panandalian yung mga problema or yung negative thoughts or feelings na meron ka. Pero pagkagising mo, pagka nawala na yung epekto ng alak, babalik lang din lahat, di ba? Madadagdagan pa yung problema mo, sasakit pa yung ulo mo, gumastos ka pa. Right? And also, same with drugs. Magiging addict ka if you are using drugs for you to move on, for you to move forward, and not to think about the negative things that are happening to you. It will just increase your negative things in life. Next, extreme withdrawal from family and friends. Yung pagiging loner mo, hindi siya makakatulong. Kasi if you are just going to do those things alone, parang mararamdaman mo pa na parang wala kang kasama, wala kang katuwang, nag-iisa ka na lang talaga sa buhay. So don't you ever withdraw yourself from your family and friends, because they are the people that will first really understand you. Next, overeating or failing to eat. Ito, yung parang katulad to ng nandun sa what helps, diba? Na you should eat healthy meals. Ayan, nakalagay dito, it doesn't help if you are going to overeat or fail to eat. Yung sobra at yung kulang ay hindi makakatulong. Next, withdrawing from pleasant activities. Of course, if hindi mo na ginagawa yung mga bagay na nakakapagpasaya sa'yo noon, hindi yun makakatulong. Next, working too much or being busy all the time. Redundant, right? Being busy all the time. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, kung trabaho ka ng trabaho, hindi ka na nakakakain, hindi mo na nagagawa yung mga bagay na nakakapagpasaya sa'yo, that doesn't help. Next, violence. What do you mean by violence? It can also be related in criminal activities. If you are going to do this, magiging violente ka, magiging criminal ka, madadagdagan lang din yung problema mo. Pwede natin siyang maging example doon sa inyo bilang mga anak, bilang mga students, being an adolescent. Yung violence, pwede natin siyang i-connect doon sa pagiging kung susuwayin nyo yung mga magulang nyo or magiging suwail ka, hindi siya makakatulong. Halimbawa, sinabi na ng magulang mo na huwag ka nang bumarkada kay ganito kasi siya nare-relate siya sa mga nagda-drugs, ganon. Pero sumasama ka pa rin. Okay? That can be related to violence. Kasi, katulad ng minention natin kanina, if you take drugs, okay, that will lead you to addiction. And that addiction will lead you in doing violent things or criminal things. Next, risky things. Doing risky things. Example, driving recklessly, substance abuse, and not taking adequate precautions. Doing risky things, yung ikakapahamak mo. Hindi siya makakatulong. Halimbawa, dahil sa nalulung ka sa alcohol or sa drugs, nagda-drive ka ng walang ingat. It will just lead you in accident. So that doesn't help, right? Madadagdagan lang yung problema mo, or it can also lead you to death. Next, avoidance. Extreme avoidance of thinking or talking about the event or a death of a loved one. Katulad ng minention natin kanina, yung reminiscing your loved ones, yung masyadong pag-iisip or pag-avoid na pag-usapan or isipin yung namatay na loved ones natin, friends or families, hindi siya makakatulong for you to move forward. And next, not taking care of yourself. Of course, if you are not going to take care of yourself, that doesn't help. And not taking care of yourself, just generalize the things that we have mentioned above. Yung alcohol or drugs or extreme withdrawal, those are example of not taking care of yourself. Next, excessive TV or computer games. Sabi nga, anumang sobra ay masama. Oo, mahilig kang manood ng TV and that can be a pleasant activity for you. Kasi, mahilig kang manood ng TV at nasisiyahan ka doon. Pero kung sobra na siya, halimbawa, 24 hours, 12 hours, or more hours na nanonood ka na lang ng TV and hindi mo na nagagawa yung ibang mga bagay na dapat nagagawa mo, o kaya naman, laro ka na lang ng laro sa computer, sa cellphone, ng mga mobile application games. Yun na lang ang inatupag mo. Katulad ngayon, yung mga mag-aaral ngayon, o baka ikaw din, lulong ka sa Mobile Legends na tinatawag natin, di ba? Kung yun na lang inatupag mo, hindi ka na kumakain, hindi ka na natutulog, it doesn't help you. Okay? At pwede lang din yun mag-cause ng sakit na nababalitaan nga natin, di ba, yung ibang mga nalululong doon sa mobile games na yon, yung iba na uospital, or yung iba nga ay sinabi pa na that is one of the causes of their death. And lastly is blaming others. Blaming others doesn't help. Okay? Yung sisisihin mo yung iba kung bakit namatay, yung loved ones mo, or yung friends or family mo, that doesn't help. Okay, it will just cause trouble. Okay? So, those are the things that doesn't help us or you if we are experiencing negative things. Okay, so for our abstraction or reflections, what have you realized in this module? Okay, so now that you knew that you were feeling or how you were reacting was similar to the one on the list, how do you feel now about yourself? Nung nalaman mo na, normal lang pala yung mga nararamdaman ko pagka nakaramdam ako ng negative or stressful events or stressful things, normal lang naman pala, normal pa pala ako. So how do you feel about yourself now? Are you motivated? Are you in a good condition right now? So always remember that your reactions to the stressful situation are normal at the moment or until about 3 months. Okay, take note, 3 months. So ibig sabihin, normal lang siya kung hanggang 3 months nararamdaman mo yung mga negative reactions na yon. Pero pag sumobra na yon, I think you need a professional help or yung counseling na tinatawag natin. Kasi, meron tayong tinatawag na 3-month rule. So, hindi lang siya doon sa mga relationship, di ba? Alam ko, familiar kayo dito, yung pag sinabing, nag-break kayo ng boyfriend or girlfriend mo, kailangan within 3 months, wag ka muna magkakaroon ng bagong relasyon. Kasi that is what we call 3-month rule. Dito, sa ating basic psychosocial skills, or dito sa ating mga nararamdaman na negative things, yung mararamdaman mo na negative reactions within 3 months is normal. Pero pag lumagpas na noon, hindi na yun normal. So, you need now a professional help or counseling. Most young people will react in the same manner. You are not being crazy when you have those feelings. Sabi ko nga kanina, hindi ka pa nasisiraan ng ulo kung nararamdaman mo yun. Also, the next time you feel that way, try to take 10 deep breaths, slowly, and then try to do letter writing and send the letter to your close friends. This will help you calm down. Can we try to do that together? Gagawin natin ha. Magbibilang tayo ng 1 to 10. Then you will inhale and exhale. Okay, let's start. 1, inhale. 2, exhale. 3, inhale. 4, exhale. 5, inhale. 6, exhale. 7, inhale. 8, exhale. 9, inhale. And 10, inhale. And as you breathe in and out, you should release your negative thoughts. Okay? That will help. Okay? Hindi lang siya sa movie nakakatulong. Sa totoong buhay ay nakakatulong din talaga siya. Okay? So, let's have another activity, which is the application. So, you need to refer to your handout. Ang nakalagay doon sa handout nyo ay page 44 itong application. So, today, you learned that our reactions to the stressful events of pandemic or any other form of disaster were normal and valid. How does this new learning that my reactions and feelings toward COVID-19 or disaster were normal after all help me? So how can you apply this learning especially after experiencing such a pandemic? Okay, ulitin natin. Your answer here is just an application of what have you learned in this module. So ibig sabihin, dahil natutunan mo na yung palang mga reaction mo, yung mga negative reaction mo are just normal and valid. Sa tingin mo, ano yung naitulong sa'yo nung nalaman mo to? Okay? So, we may answer na, normal lang pala ako, hindi naman pala ako nasisiraan ng ulo nung naramdaman ko yung mga negative feelings na yon. Does it help you nung nalaman mo yon? Natulungan ka ba ng module na to nung nalaman mo yon? Kung oo, why? Kung bakit, why then? Okay, and how can you apply this learning especially after experiencing such a pandemic? So, papaano mo siya maa-apply sa buhay mo? Lalo na ngayon na nararamdaman natin or na-experience natin yung pandemic due to the COVID-19. So, you will answer here on your module. Dito na rin isusulat yung sagot. Okay? No need to write it on a separate sheet of paper. Just write your answer here. And for our closure, so, yung letter, naalala nyo yung preliminary activity kanina. So, if you done on writing that, you will read again your letter and compare how you feel now that you know that those feelings were normal and valid. Say to yourself, my feelings are valid, my reactions are normal, and my feelings and reactions are valid and normal. So, you will compare your feelings or thoughts before, nung hindi nyo pa alam na lahat ng yan ay normal lang pala, at ngayon, na alam mo na lahat pala ng mga negative reactions na yon ay normal pa at hindi ka pa nasisiraan ng ulo. So, you will just compare it. Okay? Just write also your answer here in your module. Page 44 pa rin yon, ha? Okay. So, that's how our Module 1 ends. Yan. Take note of this. It's okay to not be okay. Ibig sabihin, okay lang na hindi ka maging okay. But not all the time. Okay? So, that's it. Thank you for listening. And, sana ay magawa nyo o masagutan nyo ng mabuti yung ating Module 1. Okay? God bless everyone.